Howdy, and welcome back to yet another episode of Garage Party. And on today's episode, we're working on something a little bit cheaper and something severely not as cool as that Fox body. It is actually now this is a 2002 Chevy Cavalier. Now, the whole purpose of this is for my Cavalier. This is mine. I had to buy this, but it is my parts car for my green one, which you guys haven't seen yet. So here's a couple pictures or clips of that car. That was cool. Not really. I don't know. But what is cool is that car itself, I'm only gonna fix because it has some sentimental value. Now, not so much the fact that it was my cousin's, and not so much the fact that was my first car, but because that was my first ever project. Not so much getting it on the road, that's just normal stuff, like fuel lines, brake lines, whatever, that stuff. But the fact that during my junior year of high school, I was in my vocational class, and that's where I met these fine fellows. And Jackson. I'll put a picture of Jackson and I in there at some point. Probably not. But yeah. And exclude Grant because I knew him before. And Bobby. It doesn't matter, but it's where most of my friends were made. And during the spring of junior year, I had told all of them that I was going to turbocharge my Chevy Cavalier. And at the time, I knew nothing about turbochargers. I just knew how cars worked, as in the basics. And then I got on a whole fiasco where I told my mother I could do it within a week, which was spring break. I did not. It took me a month and a half. And that car was at its peak for the 19 days that it was on the road, before the engine completely detonated and exploded. And I'll have to show you the remains of what happened to piston number 4. It was quite exciting. Now, I could go into a whole spiel on that, but I'm not going to, because we'll save that for later, when it's all on the road, and I could do like a cool tribute. I don't know. But so the purpose of this is, this car has the engine that I need, the 2.2, but I'm not only going to be taking the 2.2, I'm going to be taking the 4-speed that it has that's sitting over here. Now, I don't know if it runs, I don't know if it even drives, I know nothing about this car. I bought it for $600 with no title or anything. And I attempted to fire it up, it rotates, but it doesn't build a compression. So this whole Cavalier series is going to be ripping it out of here, rebuilding the motor, maybe going through the trans, I don't know just yet, depends on my finances. And then stuffing it in mine. I'm also going to be taking the wire and harness out for the engine because there's a few different things, along with a lot of interior pieces and stuff, are going to go into mine. So that being said, let's go ahead and get started, and I'm going to go ahead and turn into this blueberry of a car. So here it is, a nice little clapped 2.2 along with the 4-speed. And this is all going to be coming up. I'm going to drop it probably through the subframe because that's the only way to get those transmissions out. You can pull these from the top. My record so far is 2.5 hours, which is not bad at all. But I'm going to go ahead and drop subframe just so that way I could do it all together, have it all together and whatnot. And then probably throw subframe partially back in so that way I can still make the car mobile. On a side note, I reorganized the shop. I got my boxes back up here, and I did that, and I put those there, and now there's so much room to play up here. A little less room there, but still not bad. And still just as much space over here. I'm going to go ahead, and I don't think I'll start a time-lapse just yet, because right now it's going to be a lot of the boring parts, which is like airbox, wires, whatever else. And obviously get it up in the air. But when it comes time to do the fun stuff, like actually dropping the motor out, then I'll start a time lapse and I'll give you an update of where I am. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and get started on this. Alright, here we have it. I put it on wood. because I mean, even after I did that, I realized it probably would have been the same if the tires were on. But oh well, it's on wood now. I don't care. I believe everything that's holding it back now is just the motor mount bolts. Trans is disconnected. Everything else seems to be disconnected. I mean, you can kind of see that it's fallen a little bit because the radiator is lower than before. I wonder if anything else dropped. No. All the subframe bolts are out. I figured out you can do it, hopefully, being able to leave the radiator and AC condenser connected. Now, I did mine a little different because I'm not going to run AC in mine because I don't care. So I cut my AC lines. And the ones in the other car I also cut because I cut those like a year and a half ago. Everything else, I think, is okay. So I think I can just go ahead and attempt to drop this. So I'm going to set this up, pull those out, and hopefully it falls. That would be swell. Alright, so it's like 99% of the way out. I'm just really confused now because one of the heads broke for the subframe when I was taking it out. And for some reason that's the one that doesn't want to pop out. Which doesn't make any sense because it should just fall out in theory. But yeah, unless it's like weirdly moved in there, whatever, it's dumb. So hopefully in the next clip, which I'm not going to do tonight because I don't feel like it, in the next clip, this will be out completely. But we'll see. Alright, so as we can see here, the motor is finally out of that Cavalier. I'm recording this probably like 2 weeks later from pulling it because I forgot to film an outro and I'm editing the video now and realize I don't have an outro. So here it is, just sitting on this nice new tire, literally brand new. I have the entire radiator out, all of this stuff out. It leaks, seems to leak a little bit of something, probably ATF. or coolant. I don't know. But yeah, so then in the next episode of this little Cavalier series, will hopefully be tearing down the motor and everything. So once again, I do hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Garage Party. Just getting this motor and trans and everything out of this Cavalier so that way I could actually get mine back together. Now, I don't remember if I said anything in any of the other clips. I don't think I did, but to do it all, we're looking at roughly $1,600, which includes all of my suspension, basically all of it, everything internal inside of the engine except a crankshaft, because I don't think I'll need one, but I don't know yet because I haven't pulled it up. But that's bearings, piston heads, rings, camshafts, cam bearings, all that stuff, and all the gaskets. So hopefully in the next episode on this of this Cavalier series will be the tear down of that engine, so that way I could diag all of that stuff. And maybe in the next episode I'll actually show you my Cavalier and give you the rundown on why I actually want to put money into the car and why I care about it. But that's for the next episode. I hope you enjoyed. If so, maybe like, comment, subscribe. I don't know. I can't tell you what to do. But it'd be cool if you did. And I will see you guys next time.